Good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday. Talk About It Tuesday. That's what we do here, and we are ready to answer some questions. We had a great Ask Me Anything Monday. Talk About It Tuesday. Let's talk about the 5 daily practices. Who here is implementing those in your life? Who has reached out to me? David at dmeltzer.com for those 5 daily practices. Also, my book, David at dmeltzer.com, ebook, audiobook. I can send you my book, sign it, ship it, pay for shipping. No cost to you. It's all free. If it's free, we could talk about it here on Tuesday. Thank you, Team David Meltzer, and we will pin it up here. David at dmeltzer.com. You can always join us. All right, the questions are rocking and rolling in. Hi, Laura. Good to see you there. And will Aaron Rodgers get traded? Yes, he will get traded to the AFC West, Denver or the Raiders. That's what's going to happen. You got football predictions here. Who would have known it? What are the top 5 of the morning routines for a healthy mindset? For me, it's the 5 daily practices. Know your what, know your who, know your how, know your now, and know your why. Know your what, your who, your how, your now, and the why. If you want those 5 daily practices, if you want the trainings on that, just email me, David at dmeltzer.com, or get my book for free, ebook, audiobook, or, of course, I will send you a signed copy as well and pay for it and the shipping. David at dmeltzer.com. What is the golden routine for successful mindset? Well, number 1 is to have a routine and an adaptable routine to go ahead and know you're in control of your mindset, your heart set, and your conscious continuum, what you think, say, do, believe, and the unconscious competencies of your personality traits, characteristics, obsessions, and addictions. Know them, know the mindset that you have and the routines, and the adaptable routine, number 2, that says if I come up with a well-developed routine, I'm going to make God laugh at me. So I have a non-negotiable routine, which is a minimum of time that I'm going to spend on my health, on my family, on my wealth, whatever it may be, to clear the interference between you and what you already are. Next question. Do you believe we all have alien DNA? I'm not sure what alien DNA is, to be quite honest. But I do believe that there's multiple billions of universes and life in some form, or AI in some form, that exist in the context of those universes and galaxies. And if you believe that the speed of thought moves faster than the speed of light, all possibilities become probabilities. But I'm not sure what alien DNA is. So thank you. All right, here we go. What was your favorite class in school? What school, right? I mean, my favorite class at what age? In college, it was kinesiology or classical music. I love those 2 courses in college. In law school, I did really well in tax law. I loved the maritime program I did in Greece. I loved AP English in high school. So just depends on where I was at. But those are all good courses that I took. I'm sure there's many more. I went to school for a long time. I'm thinking of starting a trading crypto business. What do you think? It's a good idea. Well, determined upon your timing and risk tolerance, also your skills, your knowledge, and your desire, your capabilities. You can align it with what that trading means to you, and making sure you have mentorship in all the variety of understanding the market makers, and the buy and sell side of the crypto trading business. But if it's aligned with your skills, knowledge, and desire, and you find a great mentor, and it's aligned with your timing and risk tolerance, go for it. Absolutely go for it. You can make a lot of money, help a lot of people, and have a lot of fun. What does your wind down routine consist of? Well, you can check out the video. Go to search.dmeltzer.com. There's so many different things that it consists of. It consists of knowing what time to unwind at. It consists of the temperature to unwind at. It consists of different types of pillows and blankets. It consists of no alcohol, no drugs, no negative energy. All of these different things are accumulated into an unwinding routine to put the night before, the beginning of my day, 9 p.m., to put my body, mind, and soul in the best position to take advantage of that clear connection that I'll have while I'm sleeping. The subconscious and unconscious connection that I have without the ego, without negative energy interference to what I already am. Wind down routine is a shift in the paradigm and perspective for my life that has changed it forever. All right, we're looking for my friends from the Mad Rabbit Tattoo. Where are they at? Salam and Oliver. You guys in here? Let's check them out. Ah, there he is. Oliver's here. If you have not checked out the madrabbittattoo.com, do so at Oliver H. Zach. And he is here. Hey, Oliver.
Hey David, how's it going?
I'm well. How are you?
Doing great. Salam's putting out some fires with Amazon at the moment, but I am here and yeah, happy to be here.
No, happy to have you. And anyone that's dealt with Amazon knows what it's like to have to put out fires with the extraordinary availability, especially of trying to figure out who to talk to or if they're going to talk to you in person.
It's
Uh,
always something.
it is always something, exactly. Well, give me a little bit of background on the Mad Rabbit.
Yeah, so Mad Rabbit was founded by my partner and I back in college in 2019. I was pretty baffled that the aftercare recommendation I received from a couple of my tattoo artists was it ranged from anything from nothing to put some petroleum jelly on it, which obviously has some pretty bad chemicals and is a little bit too thick for tattoo healing. So that's kind of where the red flag of the industry came in for me. Salam and I were at Miami University, both finance majors. We both had
So that's
full-time.
in Ohio, Miami
Yes,
University,
the
not
the
the
cold one, the cold one.
the academic one. No
Exa-
offense to my partners who went to Miami.
Yeah,
Not the
so
football one.
exactly. Ben Roethlisberger would disagree, but
Yeah,
yeah,
right. Who was my client at Lee Steinberg, by the way, and is Bruce Tollner's client today. So I'm from Akron. I know my uncle. Everybody goes to Miami of Ohio.
awesome. Yeah, so it was a great place. Salam and I were finance majors there together. We both had jobs lined up our senior year, which was awesome, and we were lucky to have that going on. But we'd been messing around in e-commerce for a little bit our junior year. We were selling women's bathing suits online, funny enough. And that's kind of how we got our start in the industry. But yeah, this pain point really struck home for me, and I think it resonated with a lot of people very quickly. So we started ordering ingredients off of Amazon. We started with 7 all natural ingredients that my mom, who has years of apothecary experience, helped us choose. And we came up with our first moisturizing balm. So had a great first year of sales, went on to our respective full-time jobs. I went on to mergers and acquisitions consulting, and Salam went on to a corporate finance job. In the meantime, the community we really started to foster through Instagram and Facebook groups and things like that really started to explode. And we left for our full-time jobs as of, well, me, January of 2021. So yeah,
Nice. Well, it's interesting because so many people think they have to, have certain backgrounds, certain education in order to facilitate building a business. And, while you're in college, obviously you guys were not probably expert in women's bathing suit, but you understood the market makers, and the buy and sell side of women's bathing suits. You then obviously got your own tattoos and found a huge void in the market, a huge market. How did you then, when you know that there's a huge opportunity, you have an entrepreneurial spirit, you have an entrepreneurial perspective, and you identify, an opportunity in a huge market, but you're not a scientist, you haven't gone to med school, or you have a huge bio background, you're an entrepreneur,
right.
but yet, you turned, your idea, this possibility, with this desire that you had. How did you find the capability to come up with the solution to fill the need?
Yeah, so it first started with a lot of market research, seeing what other products actually were on the market outside of what I was being recommended by my tattoo artists. And what I found is there weren't many. There are a few what I'll call mom and pop shop type products that really they did an okay job of serving the need. But what I noticed they really lacked, and what I could bring to the table, is the social media presence. So that's through various internships where a lot of me and my partner's strengths lied. And we knew that formulation is something that we could really outsource. So we got in contact with a great private label lab. Our chemist did the whole Bath and Body Works line throughout the 90s. So got connected with a great chemist there. And it's really just about knowing, to your point, where your strengths are and what you're not great at.
I love the guy in the comments. Are we allowed to ask questions? That is a question. So obviously you're allowed to ask it. You're allowed to ask another question if you want of Oliver and I. um, I love Instagram. So the other side of it is understanding the holistic side of what you do. And, obviously you did your research. You probably had some personal experiences in the holistic approach to healing. How did you apply the whole basics of holistic healing to your product?
It's a great question. So our whole formulation thesis is based around being all natural and as simple as possible. So really no bullshit ingredients, keeping it simple, safe, no chemicals, no parabens. And I think that really just lends itself to a great skincare line. It's actually quite an easy thesis to follow.
And you're selling direct. You also sell to tattoo parlors.
Yeah, that's correct. We do about, I'd probably say 95 of our percent of our business online, direct through our website, madrabbittattoo.com. In addition to that, we do quite a bit on Amazon. I'd say Amazon makes up about 20% of our sales. And then um, tattoo shops, unfortunately, got hammered pretty hard by the pandemic and closings. So we weren't able to warrant sending a lot of inventory due to lack of foot traffic. But that's definitely a focus of the remainder of the year.
Yeah, and I would imagine it's just going to open up, and a lot of people, like other things, have pent up demand for dreaming up what tattoos they want, and have probably been inspired by the pandemic itself for other art that needs to be placed upon our bodies. And you know, there's so many different areas like events. What part of the businesses that I'm in, there's just a pent up demand that when they start opening these stadiums and arenas with music and sports. And I think tattoos are another area that people, at least from the conversations I'm having, how are you preparing for things opening back up, and for, the sudden demand can be, a great thing, but it also can be a great challenge.
Yeah, that's a great point. So forecasting demand has been really interesting. There's actually some benefit to kind of growing this business during the pandemic because we didn't have to worry about allocating a lot of inventory to retail channels, things like that. We got away with not going to all of these amazing tattoo conventions because those were all shut down at the time. And to your point, there's a lot of live event kind of low hanging fruit that we're gonna have to test and see what works. It's going to be a whole new strategy.
And lastly, I know your partners on the other side, what challenges have you faced? You're two young guys building a business together during a pandemic, both who have given up traditional probably pressures of careers to be entrepreneurs in the tattoo space. What's the biggest challenge you faced in your partnership with Salam?
Um, so I think it could have been a lot worse. Salam fortunately quit his job back in October and was really able to start tackling and blocking a lot of the daily stuff for us. So he really carried a lot of the weight of the company while I was wrapping up things with my full-time job. Um, a similar question that we get is kind of like what's the big mistakes um, that have challenged you throughout the way? And it's tough to answer that question because our strong suit is really pivoting. We don't make a lot of big mistakes because we don't let them become big mistakes. We're really great at jumping on issues pretty early, keeping a tight pulse on our tight knit community, and really just making sure that issues don't fester. So honestly, it's been a relatively smooth ride.
That is awesome. Well, we know that you have the unbelievable Mad Rabbit Repair Soothing Gel, but you also, beyond your tattoo balm, you have new sunscreen. And so, utilizing some of the same holistic healing that you utilize for the damage caused to the skin by getting a tattoo, I will tell you that's even a bigger space. As I went and was blessed to be with our Surgeon General, and when I asked him, the top health issues in America, obesity and skincare, and then of course tobacco use, which is always up there. But as far as natural, obesity and skincare are unintentional in our habits. So you're sitting in the right space, in the holistic space. I can't think of a better alignment for two young super entrepreneurs like you and Salam. You tell him I missed him. He's welcome back anytime. People can find you at madrabbittattoo.com. or at Oliver H. Zach. Anywhere else you want people to reach out or anything else you want to add?
No, that should be good. I just would like to comment on that last closing note. Um, with the SPF, I was surprised just walking down the aisle at CVS or in Walgreens and really looking for competitive products that have all natural SPF options, and really surprised to see that these pharmaceutical giants are a little slow to pick those up at the moment. So just wanted to echo your point that taking care of your skin is so important, and the chemicals that you're putting on your skin do actually matter. So just be mindful and take care of yourself.
Mad Rabbit is the GOAT, as that comment says right there. That's for sure. All right, my friend, keep up the good work. If you need any help, of course, I'm here to mentor and help you anytime. I love young entrepreneurs that get it. You and Salam actually get it. I can't wait to see where you guys end up. Thanks so much.
Appreciate that, David. Talk soon.
Take care. You got it. Take care, Oliver. What a great entrepreneur, making me so proud. Check him out at Oliver H. Zach, MadRabbitTattoo.com. All right, Jesse Bradley's here. Let's see. We'll go live with Jesse, former pro soccer player. He is also a pastor at the Grace Community Church, and he has free marriage course. Hey, Jesse, what's going on? Hello. Uh-oh.
Hello, good David. Great to see you today. Thanks for taking time. I appreciate you. And we just see your heart to pour in and build up young entrepreneurs and just leaders across the board.
Oh, I appreciate you and everything that you do. And it's so interesting when people are former professional athletes that understand inspiration, but then take it off the court or the pitch or the field and are able to empower other people instead of the 10, 11, 40, 2, whatever it is around us in the locker room. And now we can utilize all types of platforms to heal or clear the interference between us and this great source of light, love, and lessons that a lot of athletes really get to understand through their daily practices and disciplines. And, you have done that, especially within the context of marriage. You're an Ivy Leaguer. You have, extraordinary intellect in this space, but I think it takes a lot more than intellect. What are some of the capabilities that you have that you like to share, especially in the context of marriage? My greatest achievement in my life is I'm married 23 years, and I've never been happier in my marriage after 23 years, which I consider a great success, far more than even winning a Super Bowl. I dreamed of winning a Super Bowl, but I'd rather have this be my life right now. It's a crowning moment. So what capabilities, are you able to transmit, transcommunicate from our source to married couples with your experience?
I appreciate that perspective and also those priorities, because it's so easy, especially if you're someone that's a doer and taking the next mountain, to just bring the leftovers home each day. But really, it's our most important relationship. And when you consider the stats right now in our country, that about half are divorced and there's so much adultery. I mean, we're struggling in our marriage. And across the board, whether it's marriage or any topic, I like to move with the focus of finding and spreading hope. And I think there's great hope in marriage. I've seen, counseling over 1,000 people over the years. I've seen so many people walk into my office saying we're going to get divorced. And then later, there's been this transformation, and the marriage is healthier than it's ever been. And so I think it starts in the heart when you prioritize that person, and then that humility, that love. I mean, it's a daily decision, and it's going to involve communication. It's going to involve conflict resolution. You have to go deep. When something's been off or limping for a couple of years, it doesn't get fixed in 1 week. And so you got to be teachable and humble. You got to speak the truth in love. And I think for many people, they didn't grow up with that modeled at home. And so it's really something to learn. And you don't necessarily get it from a professor at school too. So I think when our families are healthy, then our communities are healthy, then our nation's healthy. And right now with marriages, we really need some hope.
Yeah, I think combined with hope, which can be utilized for everything, right? Hope is the ability to use faith as a GPS that not only will hope and faith reroute us to something where we want to be, but it actually will change the destination to something better because it's bigger than we can even imagine. In our limitations of our own minds, you can't even fathom the size, scope, and scale of the power and light and love that we possess. But beyond hope, were two other things that I was hoping to discuss with you. And one is forgiveness,
Yes.
because one of the most difficult things in a marriage is there is no perfect people in a marriage. And in a variety of perceived and real uh, actions or activities, we can hurt the person that we care the most about. And I love the way that you put, the priority down, because I remember years and years ago, my wife telling me as I walked away from the dinner table, why is it that you treat people you don't even know or barely know better than the people you love the most?
Yeah, that's strong.
Still
That's
chokes,
really strong.
still chokes me up, right?
Yeah.
Because you're lost, right? You bring home the scraps, and you're like,
Yep.
wait, it's like The Greatest Showman. You're working so hard for your family, thinking that shows that you love them, but you're not giving them anything except for the scraps. So that was the one thing, is forgiveness, and the second is just the power of perception, meaning once I started looking for what I wanted in my marriage, wanted in my spouse, instead of the things I didn't want, it was a miracle, a true miracle, to change all the things that bugged me. It became cute and sexy and fun, instead of annoying, separating, frustrating. The exact same activity became
Yeah.
awesome instead of bad. So I was hoping how you could
Good.
talk about forgiveness and the interrelatedness of seeking what you want in a relationship.
Right on. And like you said, it's unintentional for so many people. They're just working hard, they're trying their best, and it's just not right now. It's struggling. And so what do you do at that point? A marriage is two people who forgive well. If it's going to be a healthy marriage, two people who forgive well, because you need to do it daily. We all mess up daily. And two traps that people get into are either rage, where they're too aggressive and they've got a temper and they get out of control and put downs and mean stuff. Or the other one is too passive, and there's resentment. And you don't communicate, you don't get honest, you don't get deep. You just let that bitterness build up day after day and month after month, and you don't really walk through it. So that combination of humility and then also love. And when you have conversations that are humble and full of love, that's where there's fruit, that's where there's transformation. And to forgive, I came to know, I didn't grow up in a spiritual family at all, but I came to know Jesus, ironically, at Dartmouth. And it was a professor, kind of undermined the scripture, but shared. And we read the Gospel of John. And I knew I was forgiven when I put my trust in Jesus. And that changed my life. The people I couldn't forgive anymore, I was able to forgive them. But forgiveness is a choice. We can all make it. And it's not, healing is a process, takes time. But forgiveness is a choice, and you need to let go of the rage, bitterness, resentment, and the perception needs to change. Like you say, when you start to see that person as the most valuable person in your life, and then you don't try to change that person, become like you, but you love them how they are, and then that perception that you start to appreciate them and not take them for granted, and you just start that mindset, those daily habits, and you start to treat them like you treated them when you were dating. Instead of 15 years marriage, sometimes you just let your guard down and you're slack in and you neglect them. Well, everybody needs to be cherished, known, pursued. And in marriage, you can't just do that passively. And so make that person your priority, whether it's your schedule, if that's daily, in terms of setting dates each week. That's a great habit that a lot of people, just that one date. My wife and I go for walks all the time. We're just constantly walking, because when we're walking, I'm not there answering calls. My phone's off, and we're just talking. We're enjoying the day, find out how it's going for each other. And some of those small habits produce big results when you stick with them.
Yeah, no doubt. And it's so interesting as well that, you have to learn to love yourself. There has to be some self work. I know in 23 years of marriage, where I've been able to come to, especially in the last 16 years, working so hard you can't give what you don't have. So if I don't forgive myself, I can't forgive someone else. If, there's so much we project onto our parents, onto our spouses, when we're not happy about something. I hated my father because I hated myself, right? The exact same things, right?
Yes.
And I work at them. One of the things that I love about my wife is that, and I've given her permission to point out the repetition, the patterns, the habitual things, like joking about things that hurt me, right?
Yeah.
This is an issue that I had a habit for years of, joking about the things that hurt most instead of dealing with them.
Yes.
And she helped me, pointing that out. And you can't go through things by yourself. You can only get so far. All right, we're going to turn the tables real fast. You know, you're an ex-pro soccer player, you're a pastor, a marriage counselor and therapist. Do you have a question for me?
I do have a question for you. And also I want to just add on your comment there, there's no shame in seeing a counselor. There's no shame in getting help. It's worth the investment, the time, the humility, the finances. And so if someone's hurting today, please take that step to protect the marriage. My question for you, David, you're such a stand-up leader and you're doing so many different things. I'm wondering, looking back over the years, what were your three biggest leadership decisions? And if you could share a little bit on the how and why you made those decisions.
Yeah, well, the first was to be an intelligent follower. So instead of being a motivator, I wanted to be an inspirer, right? A motivator can get people up, get them back up, get them started and get them back started. They can utilize fear to do that. They can use scarcity to do that. But to be an inspirer, you needed to align and understand and learn from the people. Instead of talking to people, I wanted to listen to what they were listening for. And so that's the biggest difference in being a leader. Then second was values. I wanted to be a value-based leader. So instead of teaching skills, instead of pushing knowledge, I focus on empowering values. And those four critical values were gratitude. I wanted everyone around me, and I still seek people that seek their best. I want people around me that seek the light, the love, and the lessons and everything through gratitude. I want a gracious bunch of people around me that I lead. Two is forgiveness, which we went into depth about peace and certainty that forgiveness can bring to your life and business. Accountability is a big one. I wanted to be an accountable leader.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of a liable leader. You know, coming from law school, I know liability very well. Blame, shame, and justification. I wanted to be an accountable leader. I wanted to, one, ask myself, what did I do to attract this to myself? And two, most importantly, what am I going to learn? And so for great gratitude, forgiveness, accountability, to be that inspired, intelligent follower, always learning for what people are listening for, has changed my ability and capability and my own perspective of being a leader. And ironically, I have more people who are on my path with me, through me, than ever before, because I'm an intelligent follower and not an intimidating motivator.
Mm-hmm. That's outstanding. Yeah, very transparent too. And I appreciate the clarity that you brought that.
Well, it's been in years, right? I'm more interested than interesting over these years, and it wasn't always like that. So I want to repeat, like you said, you know, the easiest way to get to where you want to be is find someone that's already there and ask for directions. And that's why I think, you know, counselors and therapy and having people help you, not just with the conscious continuum, what we think, say, do, believe, and what we act upon, but, you know, this idea of our heart set, the way we feel. We need people to help guide us, and also our mindset of what we perceive to be real. And if we can take control and have help, have a guide, have someone who has situational knowledge, experience, all of the different skill sets that we may not have in order to help facilitate a healthy mindset, a healing mindset, a healing heart set, and the conscious continuum, you can accelerate, grow, expand. Most importantly, you know, Jesse, what I love about your mission and mine, we just want people to be happy.
Yes.
Right. And you help specifically with married couples as well, which is to me the biggest priority in my life. And like I said, my biggest and greatest achievement of everything that flows through me is through that marriage. And it's my Super Bowl ring. And I've been winning the Super Bowl ring of marriage for the last few years. So pretty soon I'll be the Tom Brady of marriage. So it'd be pretty cool.
That's great. I love it. Yeah, that marriage, you know, it's the main instrument of growth. It's the main instrument of healing in our life. That's where we're most vulnerable, transparent, and there's no one else that can play that role. There's a lot of other people that can be a leader in a certain company, but there's no one else that can be, you know, that man for your wife. And so I love it that you're sharing that passion. And you're one of those leaders that you can just tell you're not all about yourself. You're here to give, you're here to listen, you're here to serve. And I appreciate the conversation today too.
I appreciate you. And I want to also give a big shout out to my wife, recognize her and thank her. So I appreciate you, Jess. You come back on anytime. Thank you for all the great work you're doing. And I appreciate anyone that has the spirit of excellence on the field and is able to help so many off the field as you have as well. So come back and visit me.
Thanks, David. And my website's jessebradley.org if anyone wants the free videos on marriage, needs some encouragement today. So thank you so much. I appreciate
Yeah,
your
we'll
time.
post that
Thanks.
back up there, jessebradley.org, at jessebradley7168. Check out Jesse. He's an extraordinary facilitator of love, light, and lessons, which you know is aligned with my core beliefs and key capabilities that we all need. Thank you, Jesse, once again. jessebradley.org. We'll check you out soon.
Thank you so much, David. Take care.
You got it, brother. Take care.
Bye.
What a great person. I got a free therapy session here. How about you? It was all good in preparation to marriage, in marriage, or late into marriage. That's what it's about. The love, the light, the lessons. And once again, I want to thank my wife for putting up with me and forgiving me and forgiving herself as well. I'm blessed to have just an extraordinary marriage, Super Bowl ring of marriage. All right. Anyway, let's take a couple questions. We have had a lot of fun here. The questions are just loading up. Can you please differentiate between knowledge and information, and what is wisdom according to you? All right, so information's data, knowledge is processing that data, and the wisdom is the combination of three things: that knowledge that you can acquire from the information, the processing of knowledge, situational knowledge, and relationship capital. All those blend into wisdom of experience in order to effectuate. See, you don't have wisdom unless you can empower somebody with what you know. And that's when it really formulates and materializes. And what a question that was. Thank you so much, by the way. That's a good one. LFG, let's see here. How long did it take you to develop your daily core values? Well, I developed them in one day. But they've evolved over 16 years. I spent the day focusing in on my core values. They've evolved. They started out as, gratitude, empathy, accountability, and effective communication. And they've evolved in their meaning and what they do. But for me, I had real simple day one. I wanted to say thank you every day. I wanted to forgive myself. I wanted to be accountable. And three, I wanted to effectively communicate with other people. And that has evolved far beyond, as gratitude has now become a search for the light, the love, and the lessons through the enjoyment of consistent, persistent pursuit of my potential. Forgiveness and empathy have been integrated into finding peace and certainty in my life by forgiving the unforgivable. And accountability has evolved beyond blame, shame, and justification into what did I do, and fully believe what I did in order to manifest or attract what I have in my life. And most importantly, seeking the light, the love, and the lessons through gratitude and forgiveness. And then finally, effective communication has evolved the most over the 16 years, from just communicating and connecting to others to I am healthy, wealthy, happy, worthy. What am I doing to interfere with it? In other words, effectively communicating to the greatest source of light, love, and lessons to come through me with gratitude, forgiveness, and accountability for everyone else, to truly live in the flow, to have the GPS of faith and hope that is rerouting me at all times when I make a mistake, a failure, a setback, and rerouting me to a better destination. Utilizing the law of gravity to reinforce that I am exactly where I'm supposed to be. I'm at the right place at the perfect time. Utilizing the law of Goya, which I've always been good at, right? The law of Goya, get off my ass, give everything I have, the desire that I must be what I can be. And then, of course, the law of attraction to clear the interference between me and what I already am, happiness, health, wealth, worthiness, etc., so that I can clear the interference to allow things to come with gratitude, forgiveness, and accountability through me for others, complete abundance, living not in a world of not enough, where things happen to me as a victim, or the world of just enough, where I'm buying things I don't need to impress people I don't like, but more importantly, a world of more than enough of everything for everyone. in order to effectuate that abundance that is and does exist through us. All right, what a great place to end. It is Talk About It Tuesday. We talked about a lot of great things today. I want to thank Oliver and Jesse for coming on. Check this out. Tomorrow is Wednesday. More Good News Wednesday. I love it. Come and join me every Wednesday. If you want my 5 daily practices, just reach out, david@dmeltzer.com. If you want my audiobook, my ebook, or the signed copy of my book, I will pay for it and pay for shipping and send it to you, david@dmeltzer.com. And you can always text me, 949-298-2905, 949-298-2905. It's always a pleasure to be here. Please reach out, david@dmeltzer.com. Remember, most importantly, be kind to your future self and do good deeds. We'll see you later.